I stay consistent with my preparation, which is what helps me perform consistently and be very even kill. But going to the next Olympics, the next World Championships, I've had those reps. I've been along guys like Andre de Grasse, Aaron Brown. I've got medals now in world relays in the most mixed relay and the open relay two in Commonwealth. I've won a national championship. So I'm ready for this next couple of years leading into LA to really peak and turn over Canadian sprinting to the next generation.
He is the pride of Ajax, Ontario. He is a champion sprinter, one of Canada's top track and field athletes. He has a great charity coming up in October we're going to speak about in a minute, and he's a fantastic follow on Instagram at B1G Pocket. He's Duan Asemota. And Duan, it's an absolute thrill to talk to you, especially after an incredible performance in Glasgow at the Commonwealth Games. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. That was probably one of the best intros I've ever got coming on the show. So I really appreciate that. Thanks for having me on the show.
Well, it's a pleasure, and you deserve it. I mean, you were just talking before we started that here you are training just days after you come back from Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, and like you're getting the work in it. It's a constant grind to stay at that level where you're an elite level track and field athlete, a sprinter.
Yeah, of course. Right after Commonwealth, I did a few days of vacation in Portugal, so I didn't get right back. But I mean, right after that, after I jumped off the plane on Saturday, Monday I'm back at training. Yesterday I was just at the National Bank Open, watching Coco golf, and but today I'm back in training. It's all about the road to LA, keeping consistent, making sure you're staying steady. I didn't race super well on Commonwealth individually, and I always am striving for ways to get better and push towards a Canadian record. So yeah, right back to work. Still got things to do.
So before we get to what happened in the men's 4x100 meter and everything that happened was you got the silver medal, I think a lot of people watching you, Duan, and listening to you are wondering, what kind of training do you do? How much weightlifting, how much long sprinting, short sprinting, interval training? What goes into creating an athlete like you who can run a sub 10-second 100 meter?
Honestly, it's pretty much different. Some people have programs where they train varying from 5 to 6 days a week. I usually do 4 days a week. So I do 4 days a week to keep up the quality of each one of my workouts. So that way I'm not coming into workouts and I'm just gassing it. So I'll have in one week, I'll probably have 2 heavy acceleration days, which will be days we work on starts, accelerating from 3-point stance. I'll have 2 days where it will be longer days, longer sprint days between 80 meters to 90 meters, 60 meters. And then we all obviously have the aerobic capacity day once a week too as well, where we're pushing 250, 300 meters, repeat 150s, that kind of stuff. So on the track, you get a mix of speed and power, resistance training, associated with non-resistance training. Then the weight room, which is one of the biggest things I've improved on the past couple of years that kind of propelled me to making my last Olympic team in the 100 meter was pretty much increasing the weight in the weight room on the Olympic lifts. So predominantly all the lifts I do are usually movement lifts because with running, it's all about how fast can you run and how strong can you be while you run fast. So static lifts don't really get as far in sprinting. You usually have stuff like hang power cleans, people do snatches, there's jump squats, variations, RDLs, functional movements, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing 4 days a week. Cleaning roughly around 142 kilos, which is 315 pounds. I'm squatting, half squatting like 240 kilograms, which is upwards of 500 pounds plus on the bar. But that's kind of like a little bit of how heavy the weights I'm doing in the gym are.
How are you balancing that with therapy to tune your legs to keep the muscles pliable and not injured, and the diet and nutrition and recovery that goes into that?
Yeah, so I also have a rigorous treatment schedule as well. So Monday, I usually do chiropractic work, see my chiropractor. Then Tuesday, we do more of a physio day. So it might be any pinpoint stuff like acupuncture, dry needling, just to clean up some residual stuff. Wednesday will be the day I get a massage to kind of like iron out the muscles, get me moving back. So on Thursday, I can go back and perform at a high level. And Thursday, I pretty much take to myself. I try to keep that like self-care day because there's not going to be days where there might be days where I might not have treatment available. So I always make sure I'm rolling out, keeping my stretch routine, cold tub, warm tub, contrast, things like that. Then Friday, I close out with like either a big massage session or a big physio session where I get a bunch of acupuncture. So keeping the body maintained is pretty much similar to having like a F1 car. If one thing is wrong in the car, it affects how the overall car is able to perform.
And that's a good analogy because I was thinking about Brad Pitt in the F1 movie. Every little thing has to be in tune for them to win. And it's no different within an Olympic level sprinter.
Of course, yes. The 100 meters is one of the most volatile sprinting and one of the most volatile things you can put your body through, period. If people even say like humanly possible with what the body can handle wasn't even supposed to go sub 10. That's to let you know how much people are pushing their limits on the body. But also too, like you can have a toe go on wrong. You can have your shoulder off. You can have your left hip is off, and it really will bring your time down significantly. So making sure you're optimized is the goal. So basically, is for people watching, if they don't know, the people who they should idolize are the people who are the most consistent. Everyone can have a good year, 1 or 2 good years, but someone like Aaron Brown, I idolize, he's been going straight from university, never had a single year off of injury and stuff like that. That's super inspiring to know that he's that consistent, not just with his work on the track, but his work off the track as well.
Speaking with Duan Asemota, one of the top sprinters in Canada, one of the top track and field athletes. You can follow him on Instagram at B1G Pocket and his website, duanasemota.ca. When did your track and field journey start, Duan? When did you become, obviously, you probably played a lot of sports as a kid, but how did you steer into this path that this became your passion, your obsession?
So track actually found me. I didn't go looking for it. Obviously, when you're in school, you do track and field day in elementary school, you try a bunch of events, you win some, you lose some. So when I was in that phase, I wasn't even winning the 100 meter in grade 8. I think I came like fourth. So going
Oh,
into high school, I was like a basketball player. I'm like, you know what? Basketball's more my thing. If I go to high school, there's going to be a bunch of more fast guys that I clearly couldn't beat in my school, so I couldn't probably beat in high school. It wasn't until grade 10, I'm doing the beep test, and obviously everyone knows gym class is also about the written work too. So I was like not really doing well in the written work. I was trying to let my grades in the sport carry me. And my gym teacher pulls me inside, like, you need to score this in this beep test or you're going to get like a C in the class. So I'm working hard in the beep test, doing that. My gym teacher happened to also be the track and field coach. So he sees me work and he's like, you know what? We had a kid transfer out to school last year in our relay team. How would you like to come be a relay member? So he says to come down to this track I train at right now, York University, and do a track meet. Came out, won the meet, and pretty much ever since I've been running.
that's amazing. So, and then obviously after high school, where did you go from there as a sprinter and a track and field athlete?
So after high school, I was lucky enough to be paired with Tony Sharp in the Speed Academy, and that's where Andre de Grasse was as well. So Andre de Grasse went to Coffeyville Community College from Canada. So he basically told me I was going to do the same thing, head straight from Notre Dame Catholic Secondary School in Ajax all the way to Coffeyville Community College and do 2 years there, then transfer to a D1 school. So that's pretty much exactly what happened. After I got my diploma, I went to Coffeyville, Kansas, which is a town of 9,000 people. It's literally Last Chance U. I don't know if anyone's watched that. That's
Yes,
exactly.
yeah, absolutely.
So then you know exactly what I mean if I say Last Chance U. It was pretty much like you're out there with limited resources, limited money. You're getting sack lunches to go to meets, and you just got to try to find a way to make it out.
You did. You mentioned Andre de Grasse, and that's one thing. Devin Haru, who does such an amazing job at CBC, and interviewed you and the team after the long delay and the rules violation dispute, but you guys win the silver medal. You mentioned about his leadership, not just for you, but all the members of the track team. What is it about Andre that helps you, inspires you on and off the track, and everyone involved with the track team in Canada?
Yeah, Andre DeGrasse, I think a lot of me being privileged enough to be friends with him off the track, you get to know him and you kind of think he's a silly guy and he doesn't take things too serious, but his leadership is in the form of example. This guy, when he goes prepared for race, he's always stone cold killer. He's always calm. He might look like he has a smile on his face and he's relaxed, but whenever he gets into these races, he performs and he executes. And for me personally, it gives me a lot of confidence being alongside someone like that in a relay when you know you have a dog on the team who's gonna be there and carry the team out of whatever position we have and try to get us a medal. For all of us, it just teaches us to kind of be even kill, have more confidence in ourselves, trust our preparation, and get to the track and execute. Because Andre DeGrasse has 7 Olympic medals, and he didn't get that from being too stressed in the call room, overworking himself in training. He simply just believes in himself. And for all of us, it helps us believe in ourselves, I think, a little bit more, speaking for myself. And when we're in the call room, and it's not like he's not the one who's giving the speeches, but he's just the one leading with his energy and his vibe.
I know when you won the Canadian men's title in 2025, the last 20, 25 meters, it was phenomenal, Duan. But the one thing about Andre that I noticed almost the whole race is how steady his head is. It's like his body's doing all this work, but he's so calm from the neck up.
Yeah, Andre is one of those people who is an anomaly in different ways. He has really good balance, coordination with his body. So a lot of the sprinting is about symmetry. You got to have one leg doing the same thing as the left. So what makes him super special is that he's able to balance his body and his hips really level, so that way his sprinting is just efficient. Some people you might see when they're running from head on, they might rock from side to side. Andre Grasse, you could probably lay a book in the middle and it wouldn't even tilt at all. It would just pretty much stay straight and everything's efficient.
Are you going to the indoor season again this year, Dwayne?
So I think for me personally, indoor hasn't been my strongest thing. I'm not really the best starter. It's not usually my strong suit. I always try to push myself, but indoor championships is in Toronto, so I have to come out here and put on for my family and friends here.
Yeah, because your mom would not be impressed if you didn't compete, right?
My mom, she hates when I don't compete because one of the major things she told me from the jump, whatever you're doing, make sure you give it 100% and compete.
And that's the one thing I noticed with your Instagram that I wanted to bring up. You really use social media wisely to inform people, inform your followers what happens, like the day to day, hour to hour reality of being a kid from Ajax or Canada in Scotland at an international track meet. It shows some of your personality, but I find it very educational about where you guys are eating, where you're living, and what the experience is like.
Yeah, I always try to make sure on social media, I don't want people to just follow me because they think I'm cool or they think I'm fast. I want to show people what it's actually like to live in the day of the life of the athlete. Like what is like when we're chilling in the room playing video games and when we go and get food and when we go to the car room, we might have a day out in the city. But it's more so just letting people know we're humans as well. So when they see us on the track and performing at a high level, it almost looks more impressive.
And how much do you appreciate it as an individual to meet all these different athletes and just people from all these different countries and cultures when you go to international track meets?
It's a blessing. Ever since I even went to school and university and at Ohio State University, meeting people who are international or even meeting Americans. But when you go away to these big meets, these competitions like Commonwealth Games, Olympics, World Championships, you see like-minded people who are pretty much the same as you, just different culture. Maybe you might speak a different language, but that spirit of sport, that language of sport, it carries. And it's something to say when you're not around that much people who are operating at that much of a high level. It's like hundreds of people operating at the 0.01% level. It's crazy. It's very infectious to be around.
So I would imagine that your only real off time where you eat cheat meals and snacks are in and around the holidays or Christmas, or do you have any kind of holiday time where you give your body and mind a break before you ramp up for the next big track season?
So I'd make sure during the season I don't go crazy on anything. No pastries, no
Oh,
no crazy takeout. I try to keep it as cool and limited as possible. In the off season, I go absolutely crazy. But I will say though, if I do have a big personal best or if we get a medal in like we did before, I might have a day or two where I just might enjoy myself a little bit. Why not?
that's fantastic. Now, one of the things you're involved in is something really cool. It's the Pocket Run 5K taking place in Ajax, Ontario, October the 3rd. And the net proceeds from the event going to Right to Play to support sport programming for youth in Rwanda, which is a very noble cause. How did you get involved in it, Dwayne?
Yeah, you talked a lot earlier about my Instagram and showing people the day-to-day life of athletes and showing how we're human. One of the main things I saw or wanted to do once I made the Paris Olympics, I said, okay, now I have this platform. What can I do to reach people? Because along my path that I had coming to the Olympics, I had a lot of help, met a lot of people. So I got involved with Right to Play through Sam Ethel, who was another Canadian Olympian. He basically introduced me to the program because he saw I was doing a lot of work with kids. I started off doing clinics with Athletics Ontario, where I was giving back to kids right after the Olympics. I went to the Right to Play Heroes Gala and saw a lot of the work that they were doing, and I said, "Perfect. My parents are from Lagos, Nigeria. They're helping kids
Oh,
all around the world. And I know what it's like to come from nothing when I see through their eyes. I've went back to Nigeria, seen where they've grown up, played with the kids in the village too as well. So when I got the opportunity to join Right to Play, I said this is something that really instills not only core values but family values too as well. And when I joined, they promised me they're like you're not going to get any. They didn't promise me anything. They told me you're not going to get these trips to Africa or anything. But last year they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, we have an opportunity for you to go to Rwanda." I'm like, this is amazing. I had a friend, Steve Newski. He's a high jumper for Canada. We both made our first Team Canada together. He was from Rwanda and he had passed away in a tragic swimming incident. He always told me to visit Rwanda and Rwanda is a great place. So I said, this is great. I'm going to take this opportunity and go. And when I went, I was pretty much jaw on the floor with how the impact of right to play. Like when you go to these galas and you donate and you never really get a chance to see where the money goes and the impact of it. But I went and I saw that. They had a program called the STEM program. The kids were
Mhm.
making fully working robotics. One girl made a fully working hospital, another one made a school alarm and an elevator. And that program was unfortunately like being cut funded because of the fact that Right to Play didn't have enough money to spread throughout it. So when I got home from the experience, obviously I was feeling very touched and very moved by it, but was also very determined and motivated to see what I can do within myself and my brand and my platform that I can give back to them. So the Pocket Run 5K came together with my love for sprinting. And obviously, it's better if we have everyone do a 5K and then we have everyone line up for 100. I think it makes for a better event
Yeah, yeah.
and healthier
It's unfair
outcomes.
because you're in it.
I mean, you can't. I'm a competitor. You can't blame me.
You get more details at thepocketrun.ca. And if you want to be a sponsor, there's plenty of time to hop on board before it runs out and support a great cause. And I have to think, Dwayne, it must have been eye-opening and humbling to see the response from kids in Rwanda to hear you are this Olympic athlete from Ajax. What was that experience like meeting the young people there in that country?
For me, it was very eye-opening because when you hear about all these countries, you see all these pictures, it's one thing, but being there, them coming up to you, wanting to meet you, asking you about simple stuff about your race, how you got started, and even just the fact that you being there creates so much positive energy for them, it really means a lot because as an athlete, your reach only seems so much as your community. You don't really think you're anything outside of that. So going there and kids felt like, I want to be like you one day. I want to be able to go to the Olympics. Just giving them that person who they see so that they feel like they can dream it too. And I felt like for me, I just think every athlete should take the opportunity they can to try to do as much outreach as you can and inspire as much kids as you can because you never know. It's always that person who said, I met this one person and then that made me do this, or I met this one person who inspired me or talked to me to do this. So I think that experience pretty much showed me the power we have with sports, the power of being an Olympian, the power of being a top athlete. It's more than just time, sponsorships, and brand deals. It's all about how much can you connect with people and how much can you actually help them.
So you've been to Paris, you've been to different Olympic Games, you're getting ready for Los Angeles. Now that you're such an experienced international track athlete, Dwayne, is your mental preparation different because you know what to expect and you know what you're dealing with and you know how to prepare yourself. So when you get in those starter blocks, you're at your absolute zenith, your absolute peak of proficiency.
Yeah, for sure. I think first couple years being on the scene, first Olympics, first Commonwealth Games, first World Championships, there's a bunch of nerves that you have settling in. And everyone, I try to lie to myself to be like, it's just another race, but all these races are different. All of them are bigger and they all bring something different out of you. I stay consistent with my preparation, which is what helps me perform consistently and be very even kill. But going to the next Olympics, the next World Championships, I've had those reps. I've been along guys like Andre Grasse, Aaron Brown. I've got medals now in world relays and the most mixed relay and the open relay two in Commonwealth. I've won a national championship. So I'm ready for this next couple years leading into LA to really peak and turn over Canadian sprinting to the next generation.
I know in basketball and football and other sports, there's trash talking. They chirp each other. When you're in international sprinting and you're in the starters blocks, do guys ever talk back and forth?
No, in the block specifically, no one will talk to you in the blocks. You're supposed to be a little bit quiet on the start. Where you see more of the bravado is like the call room. So the call room is almost like the bullpen, almost. I don't know how to
Yes.
explain it. It's you take 10 guys or 8 guys, sorry, running a race, you put them in a room where they're getting ready, putting on their bibs, putting on their numbers, taking off their stuff, getting ready. And it's just like, you know how it is when you're in an elevator full of guys and everyone's trying to show who's not scared, who's gonna run the fastest. It's like this kind of pissing contest. And that's where the trash talk comes. Someone like Noah Lyles, he's more vocal, but then when he gets to the car room, he'll just try to be loud and throw you off with his antics, with his screaming, his jumping, and all that stuff. And then also like within the meet, sometimes when you walk past people, sometimes they might give you a look, or this guy's been looking at me all week when he knows he's about to race. Some of it is more of like the stuff that goes, the nonverbal cues that you pick up on. The direct trash talk can come online though.
Has it come the other way though, where you got a compliment or encouragement from an athlete you didn't expect that you thought, well, that was really nice?
Yeah, but that always comes after you have to humble them. That doesn't come before that. Sometimes you gotta make people feel you, and that's why I love track because it's like the ultimate measure of brute strength. It's like an arm wrestle. After that time we run, Now, granted, races can go different ways. There can be certain technical things that throw it off, but when you beat someone to the point where they know they can't run faster than you get a different level of respect from them. And that's what I love getting from my competitors when I'm able to be grateful enough to win my races.
You train in all sorts of weather, but you mentioned when it's really hot because most running tracks are rubberized. It can almost burn your fingers, you said.
Exactly. Once you're pushing over 30 degrees, 32, you could be touching the track. You could be on the track with your bare foot. The track is lava. It's hot. It will burn you. If it's you have to put water on it. Like my coaches had to put water on the start lines just to make sure our hands didn't burn from the rubber and the heat because it heats up too when it hits the track.
Do you have a preferred time of day that you like to work out when you're running?
Yeah, I love training in the mornings. I think mornings when you wake up, that's when your energy level is optimal. You're more alert in the morning. And for me, I just like getting training out of the way. I've been waiting the whole day to training. I feel like my energy level kind of drops and I have to pick it back up. But first thing in the morning is usually when I go, I train at 9 a.m. at the Toronto Track and Field Center, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
He is a national champion. He's a Commonwealth Games silver medalist. He has the Pocket Run 5K coming up in Ajax, Ontario, October the 3rd. You can be a sponsor at thepocketrun.ca to help the right to play in Rwanda. He is an absolute must follow on Instagram at B1G Pocket. I really like your feed. The website, duanasemota.ca. So what else is coming up for you the rest of the summer and rest of your Duane?
So we're coming up on the World Ultimate Championships, the inaugural first ever World Ultimate Championships. So World Athletics is putting together a special championships this year where the prize money has been increased, has been doubled. And our mixed relay team qualified at World Relays. We came silver to Jamaica. We broke the world record in the heats. They broke the world record in the finals. So it's going to be a good rematch going in Budapest. That's September 11th and 12th. You can catch that on CBC Sports. Usually captures that. So that's what's coming up next for me and what I'm preparing for.
What is the mixed relay experience like as opposed to just the men's 4x100?
Mixed relay is completely different. So you have two girls, two guys. When we first won the event for the very first time last year in China, it was a girl to start, a girl goes second, a boy goes third, and a boy goes fourth. If you ask me, I think because we won, they changed it to a guy goes first, a girl goes second, then a guy goes third, now a girl goes fourth. So they switched it up on us a little bit that this year, but we're going to get ready for that coming up in Budapest.
Outstanding.
And that's also going to be in the Olympics too as well coming up. So everyone should look out for Canada in both the open and the mixed relay.
Okay, so is that the first time it's a medal sport, the mixed relay coming up in LA?
Yes, that's going to be the first time it's introduced in the Olympics for as a medal sport and as a sport period. So we've been working hard. We were the defending champions in 2025. We got a silver medal in 2026 this year. So we're a top two in the world program. We have a top two all time. So going into LA, we're going to make sure we have a medal secured and have medals around our neck, hopefully in LA.
Well, I know it was a long wait in Glasgow until all the judges decided you were silver medalist, but you guys, as always, as Canadians, handle it with great class. You represented the country well. Duane, an absolute thrill to talk to you. Good luck with your training. Good luck with the Pocket Run 5K, and we'll speak to you again as you get closer to Los Angeles.
Thank you. It'd be great to have you out there run 5K. You look like you could drop a good time. So we got to make that happen.
I don't know if it's a good time, but I'll finish.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this too. Also, I'm going to add on to at the Pocket Run, we're going to be having a 40-yard dash installment sponsored by OVR Timing. So
Okay.
after the 5K, we're going to take a couple hours where we're going to have a lot of our vendors replenish some of our athletes with electrolytes, food, and we're going to go for the 40-yard dash, and we'll see who's going to be having the fastest 40-yard dash in Ajax on the day. So if you want to come check that out too, you look like a 4.6 guy, maybe 4.7. Love to see it.
5.254, Duane. Let's be honest. I haven't run a sub 540 in a long time. The pocketrun.ca with Duan Asemota, Canadian sprinter. Thank you, Duane.
Thank you for having me.
Looking for reliable and convenient personal safety products? Less Lethal has you covered. As Canada's only authorized Byrna distributor, we provide a range of products for recreation, protection, and security. Explore our Byrna launcher lineup, including the LE, SD, TCR, and Mission 4, designed for different levels of performance and protection needs. We also offer the Banshee personal safety alarm, designed to protect children, women, and vulnerable individuals. Because your safety is our top priority. Shop now at lesslethal.ca.